Took me a couple tries, and that's okay. Like I said, this is not easy. And I kind of made just a simple knot right in the middle of where our ends are at. Feel free to use your magnifying glass if you guys are having trouble. I know this is all very tiny, detailed work, so don't strain yourself. You have plenty of tools, and it's totally able, you totally should use them when you find it necessary. Now what I'm doing right now is I'm just making sure that all of our layers here are completely flat and flush together. Just kind of pressing lightly with my pliers. I'm going around the edges here, making sure that they all line up nicely. Our flat nose pliers here. See that? It just clamps it down so nicely. It makes everything just even and perfect, and I love that. Now back to our black wire. I'm just feeding it through, making sure that to go over the edges of our wire to really secure it so you don't see it at the final project. Unlike our bracelet, I'm pretty concerned with the straight, perfect, even lines of this, so I'm trying to wrap as straightly and evenly as possible. If yours don't really turn out as you like it, go ahead and just snip off all the wire. It's just not worth your time trying to untangle it. You have plenty of wire. And I'm kind of pulling pretty tight on here. Just doing one side at a time. My pliers are really helping me brace this perfectly, feeding it through. May have to adjust your wires, and that's okay. You want to fix it now before it's too late. Again, I'm just taking my time here, really clamping down with my flat nose pliers. It's a really good base for this. Now I think I'm almost done with this side, and I'm just going to try it on to make sure we're still on target for our size. Better to make adjustments as we go, and then if it turns out to be too small at the end, I don't want to have to tell you, but you might have to start over, and that's no fun. Everything looks good to me, so I'm going to go ahead and start with our other wire on our other side. Okay, I think that this is probably enough wire wrapping for our area. If you guys aren't sure exactly how I got to that conclusion, I'll go ahead and show you. I'm just going to put my bead right on top. I do want a little bit of the black wire to show on the sides, so I just kind of eyeballed it until, one, I covered my edges, and two, I can kind of see it from an overhead view, that I can see the sides, the detailing, because we spent a lot of time on it, and so we should show it off. So now I'm going to take my pliers, and I'm just going to go around really quickly and just make sure that all my wire are close enough together. There's not that big of a gap. You can go ahead and just kind of press down on your middle part here. Make sure everything is just kind of flat. We want our rings to be flat. It's just going to feel better on your finger. If it's all bumpy and lumpy, you're going to feel that. And of course, as always, after every step, we make sure that it fits perfectly. It's not falling off. Feels good to me. So we have our little antennae here that kind of look like a bug. So let's go ahead and use those guys to our advantage. If you wire wrapped this and you don't have any extra little wire, you can go ahead and start with a new piece. But I happen to have some extra, so I'm just going to use what I have. So So I'm just kind of using one side of my wire, the longer side that I had, and I'm just kind of playing around with it, see where it matches, it looks good. I'm putting it flat down. That's the way I like it. I can also stand it up and do kind of like a princess kind of crown if I had a couple more beads. The design is totally up to you. Make it your own. To attach this, I'm going to loop it underneath, just like how we've been doing. Using my hands to straighten it out. And then I'm going to loop it one more time on the edge part to really secure it in place. I'm going to switch over to the other side and do a cool wrapping detail on top. I'm just going to wrap it around the bead, kind of doing like an X kind of thing. You don't have to do this if this is not your style. I just think it looks cool and it finishes off the piece, but it's totally up to you. With my little leftover wire, I'm just going to fold it under. Probably want to use a smaller piece. With smaller details, you need a smaller plier. Since this is quite small, I'm going to go in with my tiny, tiny pliers here and just I don't want anyone to see that edge of this wire here. So I'm just kind of trying to wrap it under. Just kind of hide it under there. And with this edge on this one, we're just going to secure it all down by kind of what we did with the bracelet, making that round wrapped detailing. It looks cool, it secures your piece. What more could you ask for? Besides like $100 million, which if you do have that laying around, you can go ahead and just send it my way. The link's provided below. But of course, you can also send me any tips, tricks, or if you want to learn a technique, you can go ahead and use those links as well. Show me what you guys made. I love that. As always, I'm wrapping my edges on the top of my piece. We don't want to wrap the edges in the interior part of your ring, because then you're going to feel those wire edges and it's not going to feel very good at all. We do not want that. You don't want any exposed wire touching your skin. Not fun. Okay, final test. Let's try this out. Ta-da! You guys did it. You made not just one, but your second jewelry piece, and I'm so proud of you. Go ahead and show me what you made. The link's provided below. I'd love to hear back from you. I know you guys made some beautiful pieces, so please share them with me. Today we learned about how to wrap our wire and make it super strong. We learned how to size our ring with our ring manual. And we also learned how to wrap and conceal our wire edges and worked with a bead. So I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see you again soon for another jewelry tutorial. Stay tuned. Today we're going to be talking about different necklines and what jewelry would flatter those necklines. And when you get ready to go out for daytime, work, play, we got you covered.